It's the After the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care. We're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get risque every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Yeah, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. It is Thursday. What's up, y'all? Apparently, Jaybird could not sleep all night and finally got to bed at about 6 a.m. So he's at least hopefully getting sleep, but he did not join us today. So.
Our baby has his sleep schedule messed up.
Yes.
New parents know about this.
That's it.
You need the baby to sleep when you're sleeping and then wake when you're waking. Our baby's all fucked.
He's all over the place, yeah. So Jaybird is getting the rest that he needs, so happy for him. So that is all good. But,
sleep, baby.
Yes, we'll all be back together here in the studio soon enough. So he's putting himself back together, but that's what's going on with him. Got a lot of good stuff to talk to about here today. Got some fantastic emails that we're going to get to here in a second. Thank you for sending those in. Mail at kvjshow.com. I got some other things that have been going on as well, too, from the regular show and whatnot. We talked about Bigfoot today, been sightings, and the Bigfoot emoji is going to be coming out. That's very exciting stuff. So that is going to be happening very soon. Talked a little bit about technology and whatnot. And we also got into something that I clearly don't know a lot about. I was so confused. But we heard the term the hot wifing. And then I saw that Florida is the third most polyamorous state in America. And that is relationships where you have, I guess, multiple partners. And we talked to a dude that has a wife and a girlfriend, and he has kids with both. And he sleeps in bed with the girlfriend, and the wife sleeps somewhere else.
They all live in the same house, though, which to me, that would be the tricky part. Like, I could see if you were in separate houses, but in the same house? Wow, you guys are just a different breed.
6 years they've been doing it. So I was like, okay, that's kind of crazy. Now, the hot wife, I didn't really know what that was, but Michael's saying it's basically just a nice word for cuckold, which, so when we were talking about it and you're asking, so what happens next? I'm like, well, I think then that goes into a cuckold when it gets physical, and that is a guy that is watching someone else have their way with their wife, which I'm like, that concept just wrecks me. Like, I can't.
Not fun.
I cannot get through to that.
Not even fun. Much less pleasurable.
Yeah.
Much less exciting.
Yeah, I just,
No.
I just cannot get there with that whole concept. You know, hey, to each their own, y'all do your own thing. That's the whole thing. We get to make our own choices. But yeah, I just like, I am not wired that way, man. That's crazy. I just couldn't even imagine. I can't handle this simple ass monogamous marriage that I'm in. I couldn't even imagine. I could not that would be the worst nightmare. I would wake up and I'd have two wives or two ladies with two kids that I had to answer to, and we're all in the same house. Oh my gosh.
It's expensive too, the more kids you keep having, pumping out with these multiple women under one roof. The breadwinner is going to feel the burden.
Well, I just know, look, eventually things happen. And he was talking about the fact that they communicate and all that stuff was good and that was healthy, but we're just humans. And I don't consider myself to be a jealous person, but given that circumstance, I think that I would become a jealous person. I'm jealous because I don't have any reason to be jealous, but when things are in that kind of, I can't imagine that both those women are constantly and always just like, oh, okay, well, he's kissing all up on her, and yeah, it's been 3 weeks since he's given me a kiss or done anything, but that's fine. That's just all the things I keep thinking about
it's
in
weird.
those scenarios of how does that not ever come up and you don't have real feelings about that kind of stuff. And it's in your face. That's what's crazy about it because you're under the same roof. So I don't know, just kind of blew my mind. But Anthony said, Kev, you need to watch DTF St. Louis.
DTF?
It's just what you would think it is. I've seen the previews of it. I've watched because, I love Jason Bateman. I love so much of his stuff. I just feel like we're almost like kindred spirits, twin flames.
So he is in DTF? I don't even know what this is. Do I know this?
Not if you haven't seen the previews. And I whatever platform I'm watching, they have it on. Maybe it's on YouTube that they've been running ads.
Okay.
But it's got David Harbour. He is the guy from the Netflix show that was back in the 80s. Yeah, Denny's, what was it called again?
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, yeah. He was one of the dudes in Stranger Things. He's the guy who did Lily Allen wrong. And she wore that dress that had all the receipts that he had bought his mistress's stuff with.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's got him and it's got Linda Cardellini, which I don't know why. I love Linda Cardellini, too. I know she's not a huge actress, but I just think she's amazing. She was Velma in the Scooby-Doo movies. She was in the Avengers movies for like a hot minute. But you know what? The reason why I love her, too? She was in Bloodline.
Ah.
She was the sister in Bloodline.
Okay.
The dark-haired sister. You know how you had the dark-haired brother, the blonde-haired Kevin was the one brother, and then the sister was her, Linda Cardellini.
Gotcha.
She's just great. Yeah, I love her. And so I watched the first episode, and I am hooked. It's on HBO, and I got to say, I still love Jason Bateman. The thing about it is, in the preview, I don't think I'm giving you, I'm not giving you a spoiler if I tell you what I saw in a preview, right?
Sure.
Okay.
No, you're fine.
So what it seems like is they kind of have this, look, St. Louis is kind of a bedroom type of community. You know, I lived in Kansas City, but at the time the girl I was dating, her sister lived in a suburb of St. Louis. And just being there, we were there a good bit. And so I just kind of got the vibe. It was like a middle class kind of, town. A lot of it's in the burbs. They do have the city and you'll go in there, but it just seems they're basic, just is vanilla, is middle of the road kind of people you can get. And that's how they want life.
Gotcha.
And so it seems like the down to fuck St. Louis is these guys needing a little bit of
You need
extra.
to call it DTF. It sounds weird when you say the F word.
Well, I just didn't know if anybody knew what the DTF was. We probably people like, I don't get what the DTF is. So I'm just because you have to understand it's something sexual.
Right.
And so that's why I'm saying that, because that's what it is. And so whatever happens, and it seems like they're dabbling outside of their relationships to get some excitement, but then David Harbour's dead. And then somehow that all ties in. So it seems like guys are looking for a little bit of excitement in their life, but it gets out of control.
You got too much excitement. You got death.
Right.
Now you got to figure out what to do.
And I've seen it. You ever seen those shows that you're like, okay, well, by everything in this, loving Jason Bateman, Linda Cardellini, it gives me anxiety.
Because you're like, no, these people are making all the wrong choices.
You ever seen it? Because it's like, here I am. Like, I can relate to the milquetoast dude that, just on a whim, be like, I don't know. Now, I would never do anything like that. But, I don't know. Let's roll the dice. Let's take a gamble. And
life falls apart.
You let the devil in. The devil's like, let's party.
Yes.
And he's like, this is going to be a mess, but I can make it so much better. Let's kill that guy.
Don't let the devil in, y'all.
Right. Yeah. So that's where I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know. Freaks me out. So, yeah, but a lot of people are saying it looks really good. So if you can, deal with that. Jason Bateman just makes a lot of really good stuff. He doesn't miss very often. I
love him. I think he's so likable, even in his podcast, Smartless. I like what he says there. I just think he's genuinely likable.
I know.
If he's acting, he's got me fooled.
Right. And I'm sure there's a lot of unlikable parts about him. And I know Jason said that back in the day he was a bully on Little House on the Prairie, but the kid was like 6, right?
Right.
8, it's like you have a chance to maybe mature. And
no one told him no, and he was 6.
Right.
How do you think it's going to go?
Yeah. But Anthony said you guys need a weekly segment for what to watch because I love everything you recommend. We have the same tastes.
Oh.
Here's a Jaybird's Recovery. Wish him well. Yeah, absolutely. I'll put it on the list. I guess I have not broken through, even though football season's been over now here for what, a good month.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, I am just not able to get into. I've gotten into all these podcasts now, so I'm watching a lot of stuff. YouTube has so many podcasts, and so a show that I was watching, the guy also launched a podcast, and I can't get away from it, Virginia.
Okay,
that's where all my time is going. Now, this is kind of a messy situation. Actually, it's very messy. We got this from Colleen, and I think she picked this up on a site, so I don't think this is Colleen's life.
She said, don't say my name. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Trust me, I do. Whenever I get that, I cross out every semblance of what their name is on the email so I don't accidentally just anchorman it.
We will read whatever you put in front of us.
I've done that before. That's how I know. I'm like, when Colleen said, oh, don't say my name. Never mind. We'll just put that one away.
So sorry, Colleen.
I'm not going to go any further. But it says in this thing, it sounds like it's an older woman that was with a husband, and he had a 22-year-old mistress, and the mistress got pregnant, had a baby, and dropped this baby off and said, I can't handle this, and then poof, took off to Spain, gone.
And so now the wife has to raise the mistress's baby
The wife told the husband, who the husband brought the baby home and said, yeah, and that's how she found out he had a mistress. Sorry, I knocked up a girl. She had a baby. She took off. She's 22.
You dumbass.
Much younger. And the wife is like, I'm not caring for this. I'm not caring for this child one bit.
You got to hire a nanny now, bro. You got yourself in this. Figure it out.
Yeah. She said, look, my kids are grown. I shouldn't have grandkids yet. And I'm sure as hell did not sign up to raise my husband's affair baby while he goes off and does something so stupid. And then guess what? Her husband actually has a heart attack and now is bedridden and cannot take care of himself, much less a baby.
No.
She said, I told my husband we're divorcing. Congratulations. I contacted the mother's parents, grandparents, whoever. And I said, I'm not taking care of this kid. So if you don't come get it, it's going to CPS, I guess, Children Protective Services.
Oh, my gosh.
And she said they came, picked up the baby, scolded me for being so cold to an innocent infant.
Who scolded you?
It was the mistress's
family. Gotcha.
Yeah. And then she said, and then I said, you know what? I've got basically my money. I got my savings. My prenup protects me, and I'm just going to leave the area because my kids begged me to stay, and they wanted me to keep the kid and take care of it.
Oh, my God. They can take the kid.
And that's what she said, and they both declined. But they're like, well,
you want me to do this,
right.
But you don't want to do it. This family is fucked.
And she said, am I wrong for drawing a line? No, you're not wrong.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, no, come on. I hate when people do that and they put expectations on you. And it's like, no, this is my life. I get to make my own choices.
And now your husband is just reaping what he sowed. He had a heart attack because of the stress that he put on his own body by cheating on you with a 20-something-year-old. Oh, I bet that's hard to keep up with in the bedroom. And then he made a baby with her, and now he can't even take care of this baby. Like, no. Figure it out, bro.
Right, yeah. And, honestly, for the family, too, of the 22-year-old, I mean, it's not that, you should deserve to be stuck with it either.
No.
But, that's kind of stuff. Look, that's why when you look to your kids, you realize that you guys still, even as adults, can make decisions that could impact me. And so, just so we're straight, before you go out and do all this dumb stuff and think I'm going to be on the hook for it. Ugh. Just so you know.
That's a gross story. But you are not a douche for just cashing in your chips and saying, bye.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Y'all can just go on without me. I'm done.
Right.
With all of you.
Yeah, I don't blame her. And if my kids turned on me and gave me that kind of attitude, then I'd probably be like, all right.
Cash it in and move to the Keys.
Yeah, there it is.
F all y'all.
Yeah, maybe we're seeing each other too much, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for her. I'm glad, look, there are times in life you just need to eventually just prioritize yourself. And there is nothing wrong with that. You don't have to apologize to anybody.
In this scenario, you are 100% allowed to cash in your chips and tell everybody to kiss your ass.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now, we had a lot of terms. I'm still trying to process what the hell hot wifing is. And then we got thrown Frambled eggs this week.
It's fried, it's scrambled, it's Frambled.
Well, it's such a funny concept because, look, I'm always grappling, trying to keep up with all the terms and understand what the hell everything is. And then it seems like the younger generations now, because of social media and these influencers, they are nothing but a vernacular generator. They're just creating all these new terms, but what's confusing is like we already had a term for that. And they come up with a new term for something we've had forever. And that's really kind of what this is with the Frambled eggs, which is part fried, part scrambled eggs.
It's just a folded egg, actually. And it's not, you don't scramble it. You just let it sit in the pan and then you fold it.
Yeah. And Greg in the 772 said Frambled eggs are actually called country scrambled.
Oh.
When you scramble the egg on the frying pan. Talking about, yeah. So that's just it. We already had a term for that. And then they've got the Frambled eggs. And now we've got two terms for the same thing.
Interesting. I do like that, though. I love when the yolk kind of stays in one place and the white stays in another. And then, yeah, you get a little tiny scramble, but it's mostly fried. That's my favorite egg prep.
Mm-hmm. Said, talking about eggs in a frying pan, you can have your eggs scrambled, a.k.a. French scrambled, country scrambled, or fried. Frambled is a stupid-ass term made up by a sheltered soy boy. My grandma always talked about scrambled or country scrambled. You can order country scrambled eggs at most breakfast joints. So I guess if you got a young waiter or waitress, you need to say frambled because that's their term. Oh, yeah, no frambled. Yeah, of course. And Liv said about the topic of eggs and the food of yesteryear, I love what y'all have to say about the chemicals in our food today. However, eating like it's the 1970s would be so much better than the 1870s because you would only have fresh food, produce, or perishable during the season in which it grows.
Yes. Remember that? There used to be seasons of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my mom was into that. She would can green beans and all this kind of stuff. I never got there in glass jars and whatnot. She would do that kind of stuff. But that's what you used to do, country folk especially. And you would have kind of like a storehouse, a warehouse. Sometimes it's like dug into the side of a hill, kind of where I was, because it'd naturally keep it cooler.
Yeah.
And then you would just have all these shelves of green beans and all that kind of stuff. And during winter or whatever, you're just, going in and getting stuff.
That gives me a lady boner. The thought of like a cave with all your glass jars of green beans in there and like, you know that you pickled it or canned it yourself and you know it's just pure and
Yeah, my great-grandma's farm, that's what they had. They had that. I thought it was a little too close to the outhouse, but, I
need some separation between my Duke and my beans.
I always thought that. I'm like, maybe they just thought, hey, we'll just grab some beans, take them in the shitter, and then go cook them up. And I was always kind of watching that. I'm like going, okay, are you going out there for one thing? I'm like, if you're going out there, you only get damn beans.
Do not take my beans in the shitter.
Right, you cannot do both.
They've been flagged.
When somebody walk out to go get beans, you keep an eye big. Make sure they're not going to that shitter. I got to keep an eye on them beans. Yeah, so that's what they would do. She said, you only have fresh fruit, the perishable during the season, which it grows. Outside that, you're canning. We take for granted the way food is harvested from other states and countries and shipped in large quantities in industrialized countries, much less how meats and dairy are refrigerated so we all can have access to it year-round. And eggs are not chicken embryos or fetuses.
They're not? What are they?
I know you know this, she says. They're unfertilized chicken menses, a.k.a. chicken periods.
Oh, it's chicken menstruation?
I guess. Honestly, I did not know that.
Oh, that's some yummy period then.
I'll admit, I am this years old when I discovered that it's chicken periods. That's wild, isn't it?
But it is where the fetus would have grown had it grown.
Honestly, and I'm reading, I still don't understand it. Later on today, when I get a chance, I'll really try to unpack this and, figure out what the hell I just learned. But, yeah, because I already have questions. I'm like, wait, chicken periods? That's what I'm eating?
It might have been better for me to think it was fetus over period.
Yeah, I could have swore it was a chicken embryo. I guess I'm wrong. Female chickens produce 5 to 6 eggs per week, while female humans produce 1 per month, regardless if there is a male in the coop. And sadly, male chickens are killed within minutes of being hatched. An egg fertilized, by the way, sperm of a male because they don't produce eggs or grow large enough to harvest meat. Isn't that just so wild and very sad? Okay, wow. Anyway, I had to just remind and inform.
Thank you. You were just informing because I don't think I knew that already.
Lisa said I could have gone my entire life without knowing that. Thanks. So maybe that was just ignorance because it was better off to, maybe we don't have to know everything.
We don't have to know
honestly,
everything.
Yeah, I'm okay with being stupid on a lot of things.
I don't want to eat my period, and I certainly don't want to eat some stranger chicken's period.
And can you imagine if you walked into a Cracker Barrel and was like, yeah, can I get 3 chicken periods? You'd be like, what are you talking? What you talking about?
Chicken menstrual cycle.
Yeah.
I love that period blood.
That chicken menstruation, it comes out a little white thing, the shell. Yeah, those. They'd be like, what are you talking about?
You can know too much.
Right, exactly. I agree. And I've realized I need to tap my knowledge out at that. It probably could have stayed below that. Going my whole life thinking that was a chicken embryo would have been better for me.
Where's that ink pen from Men in Black?
Yeah, exactly.
Can we take back the last 5 minutes?
I want to unlearn chicken menstruation. And Rachel said, I was catching up on the shows from last week. I heard you talking about golden milk. Well, I have coffee in the morning only for the ritual of it. But when I do have it, I add collagen, a dash of turmeric, turmeric, a dash of cinnamon, and a tiny pinch of black pepper, supposedly to help the body absorb the turmeric. I could be wrong, but I think this concoction doesn't interrupt a fast either. I'm not a doctor, not an expert in nutrition, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And honestly, I saw again today, there's another report about coffee and reducing stress and all this kind of stuff. So they say 2 to 3 cups per day. It seems to be the sweet spot earlier on in the day. You want a 10-hour gap, but yeah, that's why I jumped into it. We'll see. It's supposed to be great for longevity and all that stuff. I never thought I'd be a coffee drinker.
And here we are.
I think coffee drinkers would probably be, you're not really a coffee drinker still. I mean, it is coffee, but I mean, I'm putting dark chocolate in it. I got cinnamon in it. I put coconut milk.
No, you're very much a coffee drinker.
Is that okay?
You like to customize it the way that you like it. And you're not even getting all frou-frou. You're not adding a bunch of sugar.
No.
You're
I'm not
more
doing
of a
that.
purist.
But I would think a coffee drinker takes it black. You don't put anything else in it. Then you're not really a coffee drinker.
Nah, I think you can put stuff in it and still be a bona fide coffee drinker.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you approve.
You're in this club because you were desperate for something.
Yes.
Because your life is getting harder.
It is.
And the energy drinks are now demonized, so we can't be doing that anymore.
You're right, yeah.
You're a man that needs the energy, and the coffee's all you have left. If they take coffee from you, you're fucked.
I used to do about 4 energy drinks a day. I maybe now do 4 a year, tops. And in fact, I cannot even tell you when I had my last one. It probably was 6-7 months ago. I might be even less than that.
Medical professionals just agree on this.
Yeah.
They are bad.
Right.
And especially for the young people that are just slugging them down. They are bad.
Yeah, no doubt. Absolutely. Christine in Brooklyn said, I'd love to see videos from you guys on how to spend a day in X. And you go to different downtowns and you show how you crawl. Yeah, that's really along the lines of what we've been talking, at least I've been talking to my daughter about a little bit. And I said, you know what, because you have so many people just going to one-off restaurants, and I think we can still do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I said, what would be cool is grouping them together. And kind of in that, where if you're hitting an area, because that's what I do. If I know, and it always comes spur of the moment. For at least me and my family, I don't remember, like my daughter's going to run a race, and all of a sudden I'm somewhere where I never would be, like downtown Stewart, or I'm in Marathon. I'm like, I never thought I was going to be here, but here I am. And like, where do I go? So if you're ever in that kind of situation, you're like, oh man, I know right here, there are 3 places I got to try.
Kevin's list.
Yes. And so I think I'm going to try to start doing that, because already I have the maps laid out. Your daughter wanted my map for the Keys.
She did. She's going down to the Keys next week for spring break.
And I was so proud of myself because we got all those great suggestions. I went on my maps. I had every single one highlighted.
Look at you.
It was already there. So I believe in the work I've already done. All I got to do is just take it a step further, Virginia.
I know I'm good at stuff.
That's it. I have limitations, but there's a few things I excel at. Coming up with meaningless maps where bars are, that is a gift I have. I don't know if there's anyone better in South Florida than me, honestly.
Yeah. If you got a guy, bring him.
Yes.
Put him up against our guy.
Show me what you have. And now I'm going to start making videos showing you what it all looks like. I mean, I'll be like, I'm going to be the king of South Florida bars.
Bitch, please. He got this.
Thank you. I need to hold on to something around here.
Everything else is
it's all gone.
Slipping through your hands.
I have nothing else but this. This is all I have. I got to claim something in my life. This is what I'm going to be known for.
I'm claiming these bars.
That's right. I am the guy. If you need to know a bar in South Florida, I am your man. They said, yeah, you could plug your Google Maps for each neighborhood at the end. Yeah, that's a great idea. I love that. Tagging that right in there. For example, you could show a day where you take the Bright Line to Miami, bar crawl, where to get lunch and go shopping. I'd love to see this for a ton of areas like Boca, Del Rey, West Palm, Lake Worth. Yeah, all the smaller pockets you guys know too. Fantastic idea. Definitely going to take you up on that, Christina. That's kind of the route we were going anyway. We've had those discussions. So when you said that, I'm like, you have a great mind.
Yeah, you told me to do it in New Orleans, so I did. I put my top 5 New Orleans restaurants up as a video on KVJ Eats.
Yeah.
So you can see if you go there, and some of them you need a reservation for ahead of time, so work ahead.
Well, I would tell you, I probably only started doing this 15 years ago or something along those lines, and I would drop into a place, and we would leave a town. I'm like, I don't feel like we saw anything. Like, what did we just do? We just wasted that opportunity. I'm like, when am I even going to be back here? And that's when I started saying, you know, if I'm going to drop in there, I want to know the places that you've got to see. And then I started driving out of town. So I'm like going, I feel like we did it. I feel like we did this town as well as you could. If you
I
asked
prepped
me,
and I worked my plan.
I think it was Savannah was the first town I did that. I'm like, I'm not going to waste this. And we went to every place was amazing. And I love Savannah so much more because of it. And there are other towns, I don't think I gave it a fair shake just because I wasn't ready.
Yeah, you didn't do the prep.
You're right.
a man of prep.
I am a man of prep. You're right. Oh, it
And you're a man of sharing said prep.
Yeah.
Which that's the real gift of it. Prepping for yourself, okay, great. But you share it with everybody so we can all benefit from your hard work.
I want everybody to enjoy these towns like I do. I'm like, if you know where you're going, it's kind of like when you go into a city and it's so awesome when your friends show you around. Be like, okay, this is the place to go. It really does make a massive difference on how well you enjoy that area. Got this from Andy. Said, been a huge listener forever. My husband and I found this place by accident. Here's another place for you in the Keys. Porky's Bayside in Marathon. It's right on the water.
Porky's Bayside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, that sounds like the kind of place you would want to go. Bam, already had it in there, Virginia.
Look at you.
Yeah, Porky's Bayside. It's a barbecue restaurant. And, yeah, like she's talking about, it looks like, yeah, it is just a little bit north of the 7 Mile Bridge.
Okay.
It's not far from, remember when we went to Sunset Grill?
Yes.
Which that's right there as the 7 Mile Bridge starts. It's just a little bit north of that, and then it'll be on the west side on, I guess, Pigeon Key.
Okay.
That's what it looks like. So if you're looking for that, she said it's very reasonably priced. They have the best fish tacos. Ask for escabeche on the side. What the hell is that? You ever heard of that?
Escabeche.
Escabeche. What the hell is escabeche? Huh. Okay, anyway, we went back twice. First visit, and it was a 40-minute drive from our place. We've been there every other time we visited the Keys, and here's the proof. We were talking about it to my mom, how good it was. She said, oh, Porky's. I used to go there with your dad. They've been divorced for 30 years, so apparently it's been around for, I do love stuff like that, too.
Escabeche is a dish of meat, fish, or vegetables marinated in an acidic sauce. So it's kind of like ceviche.
Oh, I would love that then.
Escabeche.
Okay.
It's typically vinegar-based with spices, often served cold or at room temperature, originating in Spain.
Yeah, Callie's saying pickled veggies, like cabbage, onions, carrots.
Ooh, yum.
Escabeche. Oh, I need to, well, you know what? Thank you for that email, because I feel like, now that's what I needed to know. I didn't need to know about chicken periods, but I need to know about escabeche.
Escabeche, cousin of ceviche.
Yeah. Gosh, that's great. Okay, Luis said, nope, Kevin, you've got me wrong. Not like Aquaman. Oh, this is, what would you rather do? Know all the world's languages or talk to animals? And I was going with the world's languages because I want to connect with people. And honestly, I don't think when the animals would talk to us, and my rationale for that was, I think I know a lot of what they want. They're really just, they have primal functions. They're looking to eat, stay safe, and reproduce. And I think it's pretty basic. And we're not much different, honestly. But I think a lot of people are thinking that they have these complex emotions. I don't think animals have complex emotions.
But you don't know.
You're right. And that's the argument a lot of people are making here. And he said, but rather being fully able to get with them to the point that I'm totally engaging with them and getting their feelings and thoughts.
I do feel like animals swing personalities. Like you'll have one dog that seems like he is just in tune with you, understands you, loves you, anticipates your needs. And then you'll have another dog that couldn't give two shits about you. Like, I think dogs are just like people.
But by watching them, though, I think they're simplistic in that point where, yeah, I've got 3 different dogs and they have, wildly different personalities, but I know what their thoughts are. I can almost read them because I spend so much time with them and attention to them that when they come up or give me a look, I know what they want. That's why I just don't think I would waste that power on that. Like, I got you. And it's always basic. Coco wants to lick my plate, and then she wants to go piss, and then she wants to go lay on the bed. That's really about it. There's not much else going on there. She's not going to be like, you know how I felt when you said to me that. I just don't think it's going to get to that point. I don't think the animals have that. I think that's why we're the top of the food chain, because we are complex.
I agree with you on all of that, but I feel like I could really monetize this animal thing, and I want to put together a vaudeville act.
Okay. Yeah, and look, I'm not saying they don't have emotions. I feel like they do. I don't think that they have complex thought. I don't think that they're breaking all this stuff down. I think you would be like, wow, okay, they basically want one of three things, and that's all they're telling me. And every time I talk to animals, it's all the same.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think that there could be depth there. Certain animals, yeah, they're basic bitches, just like certain people. But I think certain animals are deep and wide, and I want to get down with those brains.
No, that's where I think you're wrong.
Deep and wide.
Don't think it happens. But this I would like to know. Are dogs racist? And that would be a point where you could ask them, because we had that topic come up because there was a couple. He was black, she was white, and her sister had a dog that was just oddly enough, like anytime he'd have his friends over, the ones that were black, and he had some other friends too. I'd kind of cut the email a bit. He had some friends that were other races too, and they were not, the dog wasn't the same with all of them. He's like going, and they kind of put it together to be going, okay, I had 3 black friends over. I had a Hispanic guy, I had a white guy, and he was only acting weird and barking at the 3 black guys. Like, why is that? I think that dog's racist.
The dog is racist.
And she's like, no, dogs can't be racist. And Lynn said, don't think dogs are racist. The dog is probably picking up on a person's energy. If a person is anxious or they sense fear of a dog, they would react regardless of race. And I will tell you that, one thing that I've kind of observed, because my son, most of his friends are black, and some of them, they're scared of dogs.
I think they got me on.
Sorry, he is on.
Yeah, you were on.
Yeah, and I noticed that, and I'm like, I don't know why that is. I don't know if it was kind of a weird thing to me. And then that's why I was thinking, I'm like, okay, because sometimes, when you live in the white body and you don't see the other perspective, because I was giving it some thought to all that kind of stuff.
That does happen.
I'm like, is that just an observation? Is there something here? And another thing, I feel like I've missed so much of this, my whole life. I'm like, if I had dark skin, would I have a different understanding about relationships with dogs? And sometimes you have that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
you don't have the perspective that you don't have.
Yeah, I'm only hearing stories, so I wish people would share it because it expands my depth of knowledge. But yeah, just from observation. And as people kept calling and giving out points, I was like, okay, maybe there is something to it for other odd reasons. Now, I do believe that dogs are sexist, and we did talk about that.
Absolutely.
That if they've been abused or they have had a bad experience with one gender, that they're skittish and they're standoffish against that gender.
They got that baggage.
So if they could do that white, couldn't they do that based on skin tones? Guess it's possible. Nick said, dogs are not racist, but if a dog is only around white people and out of the blue, they see a black person, the dark color and change is what they're barking at. They're just not used to seeing it. That's why you need to get your puppy out and about when you're training them so that they're around everybody and everything. Yeah, that's an interesting thought. It's another argument for have a diverse life and a diverse group of people that you hang out with. And no, so it makes sense. Susan from Seattle said, Kevin, I was listening to your show Tuesday, and you're talking about struggling with the word clippers in Spanish. That's when I was trying to talk to the dog groomer that only spoke Spanish, and I had to give some complex instructions as to how to cut the dog Coco's hair. She said, as a French teacher of 25 years, can I suggest that you want to focus less on needing to know specific words and more on using circumlocution, which is talking around a word when you don't know a word. For example, if you don't know how to say clippers, you could say scissors or dog fur or scissors for dog hair. It's more about being able to communicate effectively rather than needing to know every word. I hope that helps. No, that's a really good tip, and that's what I do now. And I've kind of felt bad, and I'm more hesitant to speak Spanish because I realize if you would translate my sentences, be like, he went a really long way to get to one point, because that's what I'm doing. I guess it's called circumlocution. And so I'm going way out here because I'm trying to stay away from the word because I don't know how to say clippers. So
He's struggling, y'all.
I'm sure Spanish people are like going, you really took a lot more words than you needed to say that. You could have just used one word instead of those 20, but that's why I'm doing that. So I can kind of tell when I'm doing that sometimes when I do speak Spanish, they're like, get to the fucking point.
Give him grace, y'all. He's trying.
I'm trying.
He's a gringo out here just trying.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said maybe tijeras de eléctricos. Might be it.
Tijeras de eléctricos.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. And then, like I said, it changes from country to country. So, and that's the one thing I was reading too, is that a word for one thing in Colombia is not the word for the same thing in like the Dominican or Cuba or something like that.
Dialect.
Gosh, man, it's so hard. Cesar said, what does the nation think is the top language learning app? No specific language in this thought process, just overall, which is the best? It's a great question. I mean, Duolingo took over the market, but, we were talking about, I think it was Google Translate. I didn't even realize that you can do lessons on that as well. And I use that for a lot of my stuff to look things up, the Google Translate. So that's the two I've done. People throw at me Rosetta Stone. I think the reason for that is it was money. I started looking at that when I decided what to do, and I was like, I didn't know that I was going to stick with it. And I didn't know how much I wanted to pay for it. And so I just wanted the Duolingo because it was free and it seemed easy. And so I jumped into that.
Gotcha.
But there's Babbel as well. And so those seem to be the best. And I think probably what your preference is going to be is just whatever you started with and whatever you know. And
right.
I think, and Duolingo has improved a good bit, and they do a lot of conversational stuff.
Yeah, my son has got me doing Duolingo to learn chess, and he is yelling at me if I don't keep these streaks up.
It's a smart brain hack. It really is, and it's silly, but they've got me. I remember one time I was at a convention, and it was 11:40, and at midnight, that's when it starts at the new day. And I was hanging with a group of people. I'm like, you guys got to excuse me. And they're like, oh, you got to go poop. I'm like, no, I got to go do my Duolingo lesson. Like, are you seriously leaving the bar? I went outside the bar, and I'm out there doing Spanish.
You should have just said you had to poop.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird when you're out at the bar and you have to poop, because that is just not good timing. But
yeah. Exactly.
You don't look as dorky as if you say, I got to go do my Duolingo.
But I'm so brain hacked that it's in my head. It's one of those things where it's the day's ticking down. I'm like, you got to do it. And there are days where I'll just fall asleep because I'm laying watching TV and I pass out and they'll give you some grace. Like you can buy streak extenders.
Right.
So it's kind of, you fudge it as well.
It's a scam.
It's kind of a scam, but it keeps you involved.
But you are an adult and you understand that you're being brain hacked.
Yeah.
I am struggling with trying to explain this to Rocco. Like, Rocco, you let them hack your brain by being so upset about the streak. So you have to be smarter than them and not realize that, and not let the streak control you.
I think if you understand it and you know what you're signing up for, it's okay. It's almost like you had that internal motivation. For instance, I've seen kids that are great at a sport. They're obsessed with it, and they're out there working their butt off every single day because the desire brings them out there. And I have that desire. It's just I kind of need the reminder, and I need that extra little push because maybe my motivation is not exactly where it needs to be, but by having a streak, I'm like, that's why I relent. I'm like, you know what? Yeah. Because if it were up to me, I'd be like, I'm okay. I can take a day, and then day would be 2, 2 would be 3, and whatever. So knowing that I have that discipline, I don't want to let myself down and break my streak. That's why I stay with it. So
the discipline part is good. The fact that they figured out how to brain hack you is bad.
You're right. There's a little bit of both. All right, I'm so damn chatty today. I'm looking at the time. I'm like, all right, I gotta get out of here. Just talking about chicken periods and everything. Just got me locked in. Your emails are just that good. Keep them coming. Mail at kvjshow.com. Appreciate it. Always learning stuff, even if I don't want to. Tomorrow's Friday.
It is.
It's Friday the 13th.
Again. Didn't we just have a Friday the 13th last month?
What the hell?
I feel like we're in it, y'all.
Oof. Wow. I felt like last Friday was my Friday the 13th.
It was.
So I'm going to have a good Friday the 13th. Watch. All right, we'll see you back here tomorrow for it. Goodbye.